position available to you is the broke leg position, like so, also known as hello sailor.
I am out here for you. You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you.
We choose truth over facts.
Never go full retard.
Come on, man.
Hey team, how we going? What's your favourite drink to have while you're watching it in the trenches with Kaz Production? Today, it's important. It's a long one. It's nearly an hour long because it is the culmination of 5 Will Make You Get Down videos that are going to be put into one video to allow you to have a one-stop shop of information that when you put the comment down below, I can find it rather than looking through all the back catalogues. This is about the 10 questions on why you want to join the military so you can answer this to yourself, followed by the truth video that only goes for about 3 minutes inside it. And then we have the you session, followed by the assessment session, so you know more about yourself, what to answer, what to expect without having a script, and also what the loopholes, hurdles may be for you in the future. And this is followed on by the pre-enlistment fitness assessment guide, which is the most important one of all to you guys, what your clicks have done. And the call to action for you is make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you follow the link below, and you'd be an idiot if you don't get on to the bat phone. Why, Kaz? Because this phone is where you get to speak to me directly in a conversation that you cannot have on YouTube because of the algorithm, etc. By getting onto the bat phone, you allow me into your head free rent. You allow me into the toilet, your bedroom, your bathroom, your car. Listen to it like a podcast, write a comment once, write it twice, 3 times, 4 times, it's fine. But when we communicate, you'll know more about yourself, you'll know more about what's expected from a veteran who's never operated on an animal, okay, from someone who's never been a cabin boy, but is willing to talk about it, by someone who is in tap, in tune with your life calling. So let's get straight to it now. Grab your beverage, grab your notebook and pen, write the questions down as they appear, put your best comments down below, and for those that have seen it before, watch it again, because that's how we learn, through repetition, through hearing the second time round. Refer it to a friend, share it, because there is those that do not know we exist. And it's important the right people hear the truth about the rest of their future and get off that goddamn mouse wheel, because I tell you what, a lot of people are going to university at the moment to go for jobs that are going to be redundant in the future. And I can tell you one that won't be, and that's in military. Let's get to it. I'm out of here. To all the lady viewers, do I look cool here? Tell me in comments.
Yep.
Tip, you ask for more, and you're going to receive it. You ask for a source, barbecue please. You ask for a template, for a guide, for a roadmap, for success in the interview process, the enlistment process, U session, assessment session, PFA. So here it is. This will allow you to answer your own questions inside your head, to answer the questions of those in your area of influence, to prepare you mentally, physically for the U session, the assessment session, the PFA. Here we go. Hope it helps. Subscribe and let me know in comments if there's any others that you need answers to. And then together, we can nail it. Bang. Team, here we are. It's Kaz from the trenches with Kaz. No nonsense. I've got the questions right here. How many?
10 plus the bonus question.
So these 10 questions is all the information that you need to be able to answer yourself to be able to negotiate what is required of being in the ADF. Write the questions down so that it stays in your brain, and it will help. And then when these questions are asked, they will be ready. Army, Air Force, Navy. Oh, I've dropped it. But not behind me. Question 1.
What is your main motivation to serve?
Question 2, dos in Spanish. What role do you want to serve in?
3.
What are your 3 choices of corps, and in what order?
Question 4, Quattro. Where do you wish to serve in Australia in order? Give me the 3 choices. Townsville, Brisbane, Darwin, Adelaide. home of the single mums.
Don't even think about anybody coming for you.
Let me know. You need to know. Question 5 coming up.
Question 5. Do you have the support of your friends and family?
Interesting. Do you?
Always, baby.
Question 6. What is the most important thing you need back in this contract from military, from service? What do you want back in return for your signature? Let's go, question 7. Too difficult for Aaron. This is question number 7. All corps need to be able to take the life of another human being for mission or for the protection of yourself or a teammate. Are you willing to make that action possible? Are you willing to pull the trigger? Do you understand you have to be able to do it? You better, because it's always the path of least resistance the threat takes to be able to achieve their mission. But you're in the way. Make the decision. Can you do it? If you can't,
See you later, Juice Box! Everyone wave goodbye to Juice Box! Literally wave! Do it! Here's 2! Everyone wave!
creepy crawly. We got a lot in common. Some people call me a lurker. Question 8. You need to be able to tell me what are 2 negative traits about yourself. Self-reflection. Can you take criticism? Let me know. 1 of mine is I'm too animated. 2, I come across as bipolar and push people away at the same time I bring people in, but it's not about me. Give me 2 right now. Aorta, as they'd say in Spanish.
Question 9. Could you pass a pre-enlistment fitness test today?
Medic! I'm coming on!
Could you?
No.
10. Are you ready to go to Kapuka today? If they ask you right now. Simple question. Yes or no? If not, then do something about it. Bonus question time.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You got a choice. Red or blue?
Red.
Trump, Biden, Pepsi or Coca-Cola? Which one's your choice? There's only one right answer.
Only 1 fave.
And that's the colour. That's Kaz.
Dicko.
Looking after you. Caring about your future. We're in the trenches. Out to you. Maybe you didn't know till now why you actually do want to join. Why you want something different. Why you want to live a life. Not stay inside the bubble wrap. And special thanks, not only to all the applicants that are out there to join, but also for our camera woman behind the camera right now. KOA. Thanks very much, mate. Am I cooler than your dad? Yeah, she nodded. You won't get moves like that in the Navy. In summary, I hope that you got something out of this source material. I hope this is something that allows you to have better understanding of who you are and why you actually want to go into the path of the sheepdog, the calling. Guys and gals, in the next couple of days, I'll be bringing out a video which is volume 2 to this, which will give you my answers if I was asked these same questions. I'm not designing a script for you. What I'm giving you is a scaffolding for you to formulate your own version of you. If you need more from the channel, from an expert in your corner, then follow the link below to Patreon. Get on the bat phone, which is right here. Bam. And from there, I can be your mentor. I can be your caddy. I can be the wind beneath your wings. Because who else is going to be? And who else is advising you? And are their words as valuable as mine? Have they walked in the path for as long as I have? Guys and gals, I'm here for the right reasons. Subscribe today and be part of the channel. And let's do it together. Because Australia needs some great people now and in the future. And you might be just one of them. See you later. That's Kaz. And if Jimmy cracks corn, do we really care? Don't know. Hey team, how we going? It's Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and I'm here to have a hypothetical conversation between a civilian wishing to apply for the military, namely the army, because that's my background, with a recruiter. Not based on what you see on recruiting on TV, but a candid, honest conversation. And it goes something like this. Civilian walks up to the recruiter and asks him for an honest answer to an honest question. What do you want from an ideal candidate for the Australian Army? And with the bullshit radar taken off, the recruiter looks at him, leans back in his chair, and says, "Sit down, mate, and listen. Take notes if you need to. I expect you to be 10% fitter than the entry requirements. And if you're a female, I would expect you to meet the male's minimum standard. Have 3 choices in order of what you'd like to do once you get in. For example, infantry, then signals, and my third choice, intelligence. And be able to explain to me why you chose those. It'll make it easier for me to understand you and your capabilities. I need you to be aware of your strengths and your personal weaknesses. That way, we can also do the best fit for you with your military career for sustainability and a long career. I'd expect you to meet the minimum educational requirements before you turn up here. Be in the frame of mind that you are ready to go from the moment you come in. Keep your family in the loop and have them administrationally and emotionally prepared, whether it be wife, mother, or children, for you to be gone for anywhere up to a year before reaching your parent unit and muster. The reason is, you may have an act of God, which brings you out of training. You may be untrainable or unable to keep up with the speed of training, or you may even be injured in the course of your duty. If you turn up with excuses or demands, this is not the role for you. You are not ready. Last of all, the army is not just a job. Once you're in, and you'll be prepared to either take a life or lose your own in pursuit of the mission, regardless of being a nurse or a mechanic or an infantryman, a woman or a man, a Christian or a Muslim. This is your team. This is your new family. And this is your new life. The currency we live by is capability. There's no rear vision mirrors. Never be in the bottom 50%. Our training and our hard work in peace is how we make our own luck in times of war. Now, in closing, if you don't like the tone that I'm bringing with this answer, then maybe the army is not for you and you should consider either Navy or Air Force, or maybe even stay in your safe space, which is Australia. If you have any questions on this video or the answer to the question, then I suggest you subscribe and tick the bell right now. So I, Dean Caswell, Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, can be in your corner and get you ready. Duty first. Thank you. Hey team, how we going? It's Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, Dean Caswell, and I am here today to introduce the first episode of a short video series that is designed to take you from where you are right now as a future applicant of the ADF, the Australian Defence Force, on your path to follow the footsteps of the Anzacs. I'll create this information video chain to give you all the steps, but not create a script to give you the best chance of having success and sustainable career within the Australian Army. It's important to know a couple of things before we start. Before you make the phone call to go into the U session, followed by the assessment session, and then the practice PFA, regardless of male or female, these are the steps, the gates you need to pass before you have a uniform on your back and a silly haircut. It is important to know a few things about yourself. You need to prepare. You can't go in and wing it. You can't go in and cuff it. You can't bullshit your way through. The U session is the first necessary step. The first time that the rubber meets the road, the first time you meet a uniformed or non-uniformed individual who is there to take you for an attitude test, the rubber meets the road, the first interview to see if you are a green light, ready to go applicant, or someone that needs some more work or never need reapply. There's some things you need to know about yourself. One of those, for starters, education. Do you have the minimum standard required, which is a pass in English and or maths at the level of year 10? Do you have tattoos on your hands, neck, face that are visible when you're wearing a collared shirt? Do you have asthma? Not childhood asthma. Do you have asthma? Do you have a history of depression that's been recorded? Do you have a bad back? Are you colorblind? Do you have flat feet? Are you morbidly obese? Are you extremely unfit? Let's face it, the U session is there to disqualify people not to look for the best in you. It is there to give the recruiters the best chance of getting the right people straight up. Some of the things you also need to know are, there is two sorts of the army, two areas of the army. There is the fighting guys and there is the supporting the fighting guys. Do you want to be a fighter, which is things like infantry, armoured corps, direct entry special forces? Or do you want to be a supporter and come out with the fantastic qualifications that ADF gives to males and females at the completion of their civilian aligned qualifications? What do I mean by that? Storeman, HAZChem material operator, transport tickets, project management, right? Whether it's even a leader. Maybe you have officer potential. It could be within communication sector as well. You've got all these things. But you need to determine which one that you want to go to, and either one has its own bonuses, rewards, and flaws. Some of the questions you're going to get asked when you go for your U session by a uniform or non-uniform member will be, why do you want to join? And you need to know that answer for starters. Is it because you have a military member in the family? Is it because you have a proud history following the footsteps of the Anzacs through the conflicts Australia's been involved in? Is it because your school was fantastic at pushing forward the customs and traditions through Anzac Days and Remembrance Day that hit according to you through nationalism and patriotism, that you want to do something completely different to the civilian sector, the last frontier, if you will? Do you want to create a name for yourself, or do you want to build on a legacy that your family has already created because you're proud of your name? Maybe you've had a shithouse family and you want to build a name and break the mould of scumbags of the past. Don't know, but a lot of it falls inside. Don't wait for family and friends to get it. This is your calling, yeah? Once you know that, you need to understand, because they're going to ask you, what are the three, not one, what are the three things you're willing to do when you get into military? Do you want to be a ringman, or do you want to be the guy, and I don't mean sailor there, ringman, burger ringman. So you need to know, what things do I want to do? Well, I want to be a fighting guy. I want to be infantry first, and then later special forces. I want to be a cavalry guy, or even a tank soldier, a trooper. Right? Maybe I want to be 2 commando direct entry, or, like we said before, the other tickets. But they need to make sense. If you go in and go, I want to be dental, working with teeth, I want to be a cook, and I want to be in special forces, they're going to go, this guy's not prepared, come back in 1 year. The other thing you need to look at is your age. If you're 17, because it is a competition, you're competing with other applicants. There's only so many that they take. John West rejects, and they do often. If you're 24 and you don't have criminal conviction, if you have all of the education and you have life experience, and you don't have anything that disqualifies you medically, you don't have asthma, you're not colourblind, you don't have flat feet, depression, or a history of drug use or a criminal record, did I say that again? Then you're going to be a better applicant than a 17-year-old that still needs his parents' permission to join, which can also be revoked at a moment's notice. It is not a rush to get in when you're 17. And there is more chance you'll get told come back when you're 19. If you come in, can't structure a conversation, or come across like maybe you've played a little bit too much, Call of Duty. So you go in, you meet the representative. You might be going in for Army and want to go to infantry, but you're speaking to someone from Navy. It doesn't have to make sense. But all of the village people are representing in there. They're going to ask you these questions, and that is to do an attitude test on you to see if you're prepared, mildly prepared, or unprepared. And if you're unprepared, they're just going to show you the door and say, come back in a year, and you don't have a choice. Once they determine, right, this guy or gal looks like they know what they're in for, they've been on In the Trenches with Kaz, subscribe right now, you're crazy if you don't. It's the only channel that's going to help you. Through comments below, ask you questions. They're going to take you to the testing phase. So what's going to happen is you're going to do a problem-solving, analytical test that goes in the way of an aptitude test, and there's a practice test below in remarks. You can have a try out of that. Won't make any better, but what it will do is get you used to answering questions quickly and also bypassing questions you can't answer. Once you've actually done that test, what will flow on from there, they will say, you wanted this, you wanted these choices, and your problem-solving ability has shown us that, yes, you are right and up to the task. If that's the case, you will have unlocked those positions. Well done. You may have done so well in the test that you've also opened up things you didn't expect. Have you considered Special Forces, which will take additional psych evaluation, but that's later on. Have you considered a leadership position or going to RMC or ADFA? Right, these things can happen. Spanner in the works, or a reward, if you will. Or you may get told you haven't unlocked any of these things. Again, it can be come back in a year or don't come back at all. From there, what's likely to happen is, if you pass everything, you're going to get a green light and get told what's going to happen from here is you've unlocked these things. These positions may not be open yet because the Army is full at the moment. They may offer you something that you never asked for. Be very careful of that. If you want to go for, say, for example, this probably won't happen, but let's make it fairly crazy. You want to be a dentist, you want to be in engineers, and you want to be in medical corps. And they go, no, but we're recruiting right now for intelligent people like you to go to Special Forces Commandos. You probably don't want to do that. Other way, you might want to go for infantry, you might want to go for cavalry, and you might want to go for Special Forces, and they say none of those are there, but forward observer is. If something has positions, you've got to ask yourself why. When the Army is full and something has positions, is that because no one wants to go there? People that have been there, people that know more about it, people that have followed the path of the Anzac and gone there aren't happy with the job fulfillment of that role. It's all about a sustainable career. Once you get the core you're after, once you've got a uniform on your back, you can't just go chop and change. Remember that. All right. So you've unlocked everything. You've answered the questions. You know why you want to join. Your age, your things that can preclude you are not there, right? And they decide that you're a good applicant. What will happen there is you'll be given an assessment day to follow, which is a date you will turn up, and there'll be another video on that. So the takeaway is you need to be able to answer these following questions before you make a phone call to ADF recruiting and get through that door to follow the footsteps of the Anzacs. Why do you want to join? Yep. Why do you want to join? It's the most important thing. What sort of role do you want and why? What are the 3 roles that you'd be willing to do in order, and again, why? Do you have depression, history of back injuries? Do you have the education requirements? Are you flat-footed? Do you have asthma? All right. Do you have a criminal conviction? Do you have a driver's license? They're going to ask all these questions. They expect an answer. How fit are you right now? They're not going to make you do push-ups, but I'm not here to give you a script either, but use some common sense and go, yeah, I'm ready to go right now. I understand the beep test is 7.5. I understand that I have to do 30 push-ups. I understand that I have to be able to do 40 sit-ups, or whatever the test may be, and be prepared to answer these questions. Dress well. It is a job interview, but it's a career you're going for. Be the best version of you. I don't care about your hair. We're going to cut that off anyway. But represent yourself and represent your family name, because it matters. This is not a civilian job. This is the last frontier. And I'm here to share the path, the lead up, the following of the footsteps of the Anzacs. I'm in your corner, and I'm Kaz. Take it easy, and I wish I was back in every day of the week. See you later.
I asked the men to do what I wouldn't do myself. All right, men. We're going. I want you all to remember who you are. You're the 10th Light Horse. Men from Western Australia. Don't forget it.
Hey team, how are we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and this is going to be a casual conversation by the fire as the tempo of the flames spread through the logs, socially information of this session into the brain, the heart, the soul of the guys and gals who are watching this right now. The information video, the mini seminar, if you will. This is the former veteran, senior NCO, letting you know that what you may not get told, what you may not hear, what you may not be able to find online is waiting for you. As step 2 of the enlistment process into the Australian Army, the footsteps of the Anzacs, the best small army in the world. So listen in, buckle in. Team, you're going to turn up. You know by now with your aptitude test whether you've unlocked a ability to go into a higher technical role, to go into an area of leadership, to go into a direct entry commando position. Be careful with that one. And from there, you're also going to know what you've unlocked academically with the aptitude test in accordance with your results, which can be done again and again for a maximum of 3 times with 6 months in between. So that's you session out the way. Here you are today with this hair growing longer and longer like a mane that we can't wait to cut off after we find you a viable candidate for the Australian Army. Team, let me stop here for a moment just to send out a thank you in advance for what you're about to do. Whether you're watching the video, whether you have your assessment session tomorrow. As the father of a daughter who one day you could be protecting from the menace abroad or domestically, as a previous ADF member, as a current veteran of the Australian Defence Force, thank you for having a pluck, for having a go, for stepping forward and saying, I feel like as part of my calling, it is time to put action behind words, to put bicep behind fingers, behind a pen, to put my signature in the place that matters, and follow the footstep of the Anzacs. You're going to turn up. The people that you're turning up with are likely to be in the platoon, the muster, that you will join the army with, unless you come from Tasmania, and that's going to look like there's a lot more people because everyone's got DOS heads. I might leave this and I might not. Anyway, you turn up, you're going to be met again by either a civilian or a Navy, Air Force or Army recruit administrator who's going to sit you down and they're going to let you know what today is all about. Make no mistake, today is not to do you favours. Today is not to be your friend. Today is to have a cordial conversation with you, a candid chat, and to medically, attitudinally, and psychologically screen you for anything that may have you, John West rejects a non-viable candidate for the Australian Army, whether that be temporary, requiring an appeal, or whether that be permanent, do not ever apply again. So what I also want to do is point out to you, before you get the green light or the red light, is that there is nothing personal in the disqualification of people that do not make it. Not everyone can make it. This is not like normal HR, and it better not ever get that way, because we're talking about lives here. You may have components, factors, things that you cannot change about you, but you might still have all of the other things, the tenacity, okay, the will, the wish, the history in your family to be there. But that's not always enough. You need to be able to hold the shield up for the guy or gal beside you. This is a disqualification assessment. No pen on paper from you. This is all about medical, and it's about psychological, and it's about screening. It's about disqualification. So what are some of the grounds you can be told no for? Maturity, yep, come back in another year. Physicality, right? Your body might not be mature enough yet. The scaffolding, able to take the pack. It might be your weight, it might be your BMI. There's also psychologically. You may be psychologically not prepared or not understand what you're getting in for, where you might be given do not apply or come back in 1 year. So now would be an appropriate time to press subscribe. Become part of the Australian channel that is here to guide you, to mentor you to your success. Do that now. Ask me questions in comments. You might be told medically that there is something you did not know, were not aware of about yourself that we have picked up with medical examination, whether that be asthma, whether that be back, scoliosis, something there, whether it be eyesight, whether it be hearing, whether it be colorblind, whether it be bad back, did I say that, whether it be a hernia, whether that be allergies, whether that be flat feet, whether it be depression, anxiety. There's a whole bunch of things that may preclude you from service in the Australian Army or Defence Force, including Navy and Air Force, so to speak. The way it's going to work is there's a conversation component, but that's going to come after the medical, and it's going to come after the psychological screening. So the medical is going to be a physical examination by medical personnel that are going to search you for those said things. Flat feet. Take your shoes off. Let me see your back. Bend over. Hope he's not Navy. What I want you to do is duck walk. What I want you to do is feel these cold hands and cough so I can feel for a hernia. I'm going to look at your coit to make sure there's nothing hanging out. Excess baggage, none extra. Alright? There's going to be a urine test. There could be a blood test. Those things can also test for barbiturates, drugs, etc. There's going to be a psychological screening where you're going to get asked questions. You need to be able to answer these. Some of those questions are, why do you want to join the Army? Right? What do you want to do in the Army? What does your family think about you being in the Army? And friends and teachers, because that tells them gut instinct that people believe in you. Do you have any history of anxiety, depression, etc.? And they should be see you laters from there as well. Disqualifying factors. There could be, have you taken drugs? If there is nothing on your record, this is not a confession session. Do not overshare. Right? This is not the police force. What are some good qualities and some bad qualities about yourself, with more emphasis being on bad qualities, so we can make sure that you don't have a personality trait like narcissism, etc., sociopath, that means that you are unable to take direction, commands from others, that you are unable to be discriminative against your own downfalls, whether that be personality, whether it be trait, whether it be physicality. There's going to be other questions that are going to be straight at you. You're going to realise you're in the realm of adults now. We don't care about your feelings. And if the feelings come out, then chances are you're going to get yourself disqualified. John West just rejected. Now, some of those questions may be things like, because I'm not here to give you a script, team, could be things like, what do you think, regardless of the core you're going for, of the thought process that you may have to take the life of another human being? We are not ambulance. We are not here to help. We are here to hurt. We are to prevent and provide protection to Australia, allies, infrastructure, and the mission. Are you willing to protect that with your trigger finger, whether it be right or whether you're retarded and have a left finger that does that instead? Never trust left-handed people. Freaks. Anyway, who you are right now may not understand the mechanical requirements to think in a way that you can give a straight answer. But what I can tell you is there is an expectation that you have thought about this. If you are too hungry for that answer, yeah, hope I get a chance to get some, yeah, They might think immaturity's coming in, come back in a year or not at all. If you're asking me if I could take the life of another human being, well, based on who I am right now, do I have, any ambition to do so? And the answer would be no. But I understand that I'm getting in the army. I understand that weapons and learning how to fight is an all-soldier skill qualification. I never know where I'm going to be with my brothers and sisters I'm serving with when the time comes where I might be the person that has to make the decision with minimum amount of time, amount of information to be able to carry out that task. And if that's the case and it's for the welfare of the mission, etc., I'm sure all the training between now and that point is going to prepare me mentally, physically, psychologically to be able to do just that. My answer is yes, I'm looking forward to the training that prepares me to be a different person, a better version than me. I have no problems with it. I don't have anything that says to me, no, I could never do that. So I guess the answer is yes. They'll go, that was a long way about saying yes, you could do it. But you don't want to look like you're a psycho and excited about the prospect of taking the life of another human being that again may be fighting as an extension of a failed diplomatic message from someone from their country. Remember, you may be engaging against another father, another brother, another son who doesn't actually have your harm as his motivation, but he might be there to achieve mission success like you. You've got to be prepared to say, not today, my mate. So that's a question I'm going to ask you. Be prepared to answer it. Once all this is out the way, remembering at any stage of this you can be told you haven't made it past this portion of the assessment session, then there is the chance that you will have now an interview saying either one, that you have been selected for further training in either officer selection, trade selection, which has ROSOs, return of service obligation, whether you have the chance or you've been told that you'd be a good candidate for commando direct entry. Don't be in a hurry to go on that. It's a very, very hard and treacherous path. Or it might even be something like pilot, officer, etc. You will know by the end of this. And then the end of the assessment session, if you were told you were still a viable candidate, the only thing that stands between you and enlistment date, a contract for a role within the Australian Army, Air Force, Navy, is the PFA, which is what we're going to talk about next video. So this information, I hope that it is enough to assist you. I hope you've enjoyed the fire, the candid conversation, the almost Where's Wally attire from your local military mentor, understanding I am in the corner. I'm not here to give you a script, but I'm here to prepare you for what comes next. So, in summary, turn up like it's a job interview. Right, have a cup of coffee, be social with those around you who are going to further be brothers and sisters. You might get a tidbit of information you need to know. From there, learn how to have pauses, maybe even rehearse the questions you think that you're going to be asked. Why do you want to join the army? Well, I just feel like I have a calling. Use those words, a calling. It goes a long way, and it tells people that you have something in common with the person who's sitting on the other side of the desk, who's looking, talking, conversing, preparing you to come and be their brother, sister, in arms, in uniform, the last frontier. You're making a big step. You're future-proofing your career. You're creating a legacy, and it's not just you. At this stage, you're bringing your family, your friends, your new brothers, your new sisters into a tighter group, because everyone will be affected by your area of influence. And if they're not a believer now, they will be when you start training hard. Because as soon as you get told in the assessment stage, yep, you're looking good still, then you need to, like Conor McGregor, get down in the push-up position and then start training to get army fit, soldier fit, not civilian fit. Fit in what? Fit in clothes, no big deal. And the next video will assist you on that. You're joining them, they're not joining you. Don't come in there with demands. And remember, it is a dictatorship and you are going to be uncomfortable at times. But we will make you the best version of you. See you later, my future brothers and sisters. Mucho respecto. Now I'm going to go and take it easy. That's Kaz in the trenches. Assessment session. Done. Good luck. See you later.
Yes, I believe in you.
Position available to you is the broke leg position. Like so, also known as Hello Sailor. Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and this is about take 11 for this video. I've tried to do it in so many different ways, and then thought I'm going to strip this back and say, what do you need from this video that you cannot get online or from recruiting? And that's where I come in. Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz. Subscribe right now. If you don't, then you're ignoring the life coach, the ADF coach, the global channel that allows all to come in and contribute through comments if you've got something to do or a better version of what I have to say. Or a thumbs down guy. So help me out with that. I am Jerry Maguire, just don't look as good. Today, we're going to be talking about a subject that is the pre-enlistment fitness assessment for the ADF, the Australian Defence Force, the best small army in the world, but we also have Air Force and Navy. Yep. But the highest standards are always by the Army, and that is also in our PFA. Should be the same across the board, you'd imagine. But there's not much room to run on a submarine, I guess. The pre-enlistment fitness assessment, what I want you to do is just tap the brakes for a second. Don't judge it on its difficulty or lack of difficulty, etc. It's an attitude test, not a physical test. It is a diagnostic that we can say that every single person that gets Kapooka is above A level, and the level is the PFA for Army. That is 8 push-ups for women, 15 for men. I know what you're already saying, equity. Yep, girls are always quiet when it comes to when it suits them, aren't they? But for ladies, make sure you get 15, all right? Then the sit-ups is 45 and 45. And then the run is 7.5 on a beep test. We get that. This is not a test for fitness for the Army. This is the PFA, the Pre-Enlistment Fitness Assessment. We didn't even have one when I joined in 91. None. But we had higher standards at Kapooka across the board. This is not the BFA, the Basic Fitness Assessment, which you will do in the Army. All right? So don't get caught up. Don't feel like it's not worth joining because this seems too easy. This is the start. This is the basement. This is rock bottom. I'm about to tell you about things you will not find online, about things that they're not going to tell you at recruiting, they're not going to tell you on CNN. Anyway, I digress. The PFA, the Pre-Enlistment Fitness Assessment, is an attitude test, not a physical test. You've already done the U session, congratulations, your IQ was up to the level that you can problem solve at a certain level diagnostically, that we're happy to have you there in the front line or the rear echelon. Got ya. Okay, we've also determined what cause that you are applicable for. We've moved on to that, to the medical assessment, and from there we know physically, mentally, what you are capable of, and that you are not a broken arrow. And now we also know that you are either selectable for Commando pre-selection program, or for direct entry, or for the OSB, the Officer Selection Board, for that. So congratulations on your journey so far. If you have the PFA in front of you now, that means that people have faith in you. As a matter of fact, you cannot fail from here. The reason is the only way you can fail a PFA is by attitude, by not training, by not preparing, by ignoring. You have something called the internet that none of us ever had. An advantage, a marked advantage. Testimonials. You know, you have coaches, you have everything out there to take away every excuse on why you should not succeed. So you better succeed. Otherwise, if it was up to me, application ripped up, come back in 1 year. That's what I'd do if you were administrationally not prepared in the U session, or IQ, or medically. Right, so you need to pass this. This is where we determine, do you have the physicality to turn up, to be able to pass the mission, to prepare yourself to be worthy of having the people that are there that have trained to your left and right, travelling at your speed or you travelling at theirs. That's what we're doing. We're building the basement. So, the PFA. Push-ups, sit-ups, hip flexors really, and then the run, the cardiovascular test via a confined space beep test. Not a big fan, gets a lot of netball injuries. Quick twisting of the knees, etc. on a sticky surface. But apart from that, There's a reason why all these three things happen. Now, in all physical training that we do within the military, it's about capability. It's not usually about actual strength. It's about muscular endurance. Everything we do borders on hypertrophy and also the endurance spectrum when it comes to our training. And it's normally done in 40-minute sessions through circuit training, which is very akin to CrossFit, very similar. The push-ups are replicating an activity which is a general service requirement, and that is fire and movement. If you can't do push-ups in a bloody mankini or a G-string or board shorts and a singlet, then how can you possibly move yourself with speed and aggression, with body armor, helmet, your webbing, your fighting gear, and a rifle or a machine gun in your hand, run down, crawl, observe, aim, fire, crawl every 5 meters until you get to the enemy, and then be prepared to carry out unarmed combat, nutsukao, on the guy or gal. I don't want to fight a girl. What if you lose? You look like an idiot. Anyway, so that's what we do. The muscular endurance that comes with that. The byproduct of that is also a strong core. Yeah, muscular endurance, being able to operate your body weight. Okay, so tip for rookies: quantity is more important than quality. You'll get told if you're doing something wrong. You need to get your score so you understand how many you can do. The test is only 15 push-ups. Women aim for 15, not 8, or you might come unstuck if they take a couple off. Watch now for a quick demonstration of 20 push-ups. Done fast at the speed you should be doing them. Make sure you get beside someone who looks like they can't do push-ups. Therefore, all the attention goes to them instead of you. So let's get to it. Watch now for a demonstration of 20 speed, test passing, PFA push-ups. Position. Ready, start position. Position ready. Test begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And now I'm a fireman. Good to go. Or a soldier, paramedic, etc. Okay team, it's easy. If you go slow, like I see people do, like so, your technique is going to let you down. Quality will be perfect, but guess what? You're not going to get them out. Today is about passing one test. Then we'll talk about how to get the numbers up after this to get you ready for Kapuka, the police academy, Singleton. The second one is the sit-ups, naturally, which is more of a hip flex. You'll feel it in your legs before you feel it in your abs. And you'll be allowed to get your feet held for this. That's not cheating either.
Sit-ups will start in 5 seconds. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Raise 1. Raise 2. Raise 3. Raise 4. Raise 5. Raise 6.
First warning. Ha!
Raise 7.
Second warning.
Raise
Ha!
8. Raise 9.
Third warning. Roll over. Fail.
Raise 10.
Now you're working at Woolies.
Ra-
That is to strengthen your core, which makes the pressure off your back be dissolved a little bit, and it also lessens your chance of back injury, which is probably gonna happen the longer you stay in. Yep, bearing weight, it's not good for you. It's not good for your carcass or your chassis at all. So the sit-ups are there, and then you've got the run component. Now, cardio is a massive important thing for the military and for the Navy and Air Force. I'll explain. Your engine, so to speak.
Level 7-5.
Stop. Okay team, we made it. 7.5, but this is not the end. You keep going
5
until
seconds.
they tell you to stop. At this stage, guys, all you can see is I don't go past the line. I use the bare minimum, the direct path between A to B to get to where my destination is. Watch again as I close that distance quickly. bang. I straight away set myself ready to just basically do 180 degrees straight back. In that way, I'm taking 2 to 3 meters off the entire 20-meter route every time by using the bare minimum effort to get to those locations. From there, I spring off. What I will say is a point of danger is, like netball injuries, when you get to here, be careful of the twisting of the knee. Don't put pressure on the leg as we get there. And then off we go. Watch one quick demonstration of that. Remember, points to remember are, watch out for the turns, that you don't hurt your knee. Make sure you put yourself beside someone who's unfit. Get hold of your breathing early and make sure you get that rhythm. And you should be good for the beep test 7.5. Good to go. Now, what occurs is, as that heats up and cardiovascular troubles begin to happen, heavy breathing, that normally what happens is the shutters come in until they get tunnel vision and you have audio shut out and you can't hear what's going on to your left and right, which means you can't take orders, you can't give orders. You're probably shaken like a dog's tail, whether it's been just given a bone or been asked if it wants to go for a walk. So you're almost combat ineffective. So what you need to do is get cardio as fit as possible so that those things will still happen, but it'll take longer to get in there. So this is a test of your cardiovascular capability to allow you and extend your ability to make intricate, informed decisions with a limited timeline, limited information that have to last you and your conscience the rest of your life. Cardio, very important. Audio shutout, tunnel vision, it's not the friend of the soldier at all. When you turn up for the test on testing day, the last hurdle for you to get into the military, Army, Air Force, Navy, okay, then you're going to be met with a PDI, physical training instructor, maybe Army, maybe Navy, maybe Air Force. Yep. The reason why we do the testing in a gym is for maximum supervision of all candidates all the time and for reporting. Yep. So you turn up there, the first thing they're going to say to you, is there any reason, ailment, that could, or injury that can prevent you from giving your best performance today? It behoves you to say yes if there is. Put your hand up nice and high and say, I have an injury, I have an illness, and they will send you over to another staff member who will sort that problem out and reschedule you for another day, no foul. If there's no dramas, then it's impossible for you to fail unless you have it prepared, which comes back to the attitude test. You can't fail. You've had all of the scores, all of the information, and all of the fight time preparation, Conor McGregor, to get the title. It's you versus you, not you versus them, but you can use them, meaning the candidates to your left and right, to gather your motivation. Try to impress her, try to impress him, Navy guy. But your technique has to be down pat. You need to practice these exercises so they're not foreign to you when you start. I'm going to show you as we go. But these tests are here for a reason. It is more of an attitude test than it is a physical test. And once this has been complete, if your position has a vacancy, then you might be at the front of the line, you might get that spot. And believe me, the spots are opening up all the time. Be ready for a whoop, whoop, bat phone, whoop, 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 whoop. There you go. Have no sympathy, because I will have no sympathy if you fail the PFA, the pre-enlistment fitness assessment. It is very achievable. Oh, it's 100% achievable. And if you can't pass that, you really don't deserve to be at your boot camp, because you'll be getting everyone else in trouble for your actions, because we're herd animals, not individuals. Yep. Does anyone have any more questions on the PFA? Put your comments below, and if we need a PFA version 2, I will do it. But you know what push-ups are, you know what sit-ups are, you know what the shuttle run is, the beep test. Guys, good luck. Let me know what's going on with you in your endeavours to join the military, and I look forward to you seeing this video and looking between the lines and understanding this is a physical attitude test. All right, good on you, good soldiering, and good luck. And you have 100 points until you prove you don't. That's Kaz in the trenches, going to drink a Pepsi, joking, Coca-Cola. Subscribe if you haven't. See you later. I'm out of here. Hold the width apart. To make sure you're in the right position, simply go up, do one push-up, and come back down.
this should not be the first time that you have done fucking push-ups.
Just to see who is here till the end. How many legs does an octopus have? Let me know. No one's going to understand this in comments except you that have watched to the end. Thank you, and I give you a thumbs up for your perseverance. I hope this helps. I'm here waiting in comments right now. Let's go!